What up, YouTube? Once again, it's your boy Cypher Da MC, the Muhammad Ali of MCs, back once again. I guess you could say this is a Gamecock game prediction, but this is also a reaction video to the Gamecocks' victory. Oh, yes, I said victory over number 5 Tennessee at Willie B on yesterday. So I'll be the first one to admit, hey, I was wrong. I actually picked the Volunteers to win just because the last two games were not, well, the loss against Missouri and the loss against Florida, it did not have me pretty faithful that the Gamecocks will be able to stop how potent Tennessee's offense is. And they did display some potency. I mean, it took them, the Gamecocks scored on their first drive, and with a minute and some change, Tennessee was on the board as well to tie the game up. So in about a minute or so, that's Tom Brady time.
Yeah, that's true.
Tom Brady-esque. They pretty much scored, and from there it was going, back and forth and things of that nature. Well, not really back and forth, at least not in the first quarter. The Gamecocks put on an offensive display. Like, I'm not going to get into all the stats and all that. You can go watch that yourself. Believe in the underdog. I did not believe. So, Gamecock Nation, forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. I did not believe. I believe in my boys. Trust me, I believe in my boys. But the product that you put out on the field says a lot about, and there's this little itsy-bitsy thing called momentum. That, whether it's going against you or going for you, plays a big part in how your next game will look. So, yeah, 63-38 was the score. If you just missed it, if you just didn't tune in because you thought, you know what, we don't have a snowball chance in Hades to beat Tennessee. Yeah. I mean, it would have been 63-31, but we gave up a late touchdown and things of that nature. But 63-38.
Wow.
I think the most points that we've scored more points than that in a game, but just against that type of opponent was phenomenal. So, well, better yet, I'll let the applause. You done?
Nope.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay. So, now the Palmetto Bowl, so to speak. South Carolina Gamecocks, who may or may not be ranked this week. I doubt it. Clemson Tigers. So, how do you view this game here? Leave your comments down below. Definitely let me know how you view this game. Given that South Carolina, once again, is bowl eligible, has defeated this season two teams that really have had their number for the most part in Kentucky and Texas A&M, and beating Tennessee the way that they did. Where are your thoughts on the matchup with Clemson?
Good question.
Clemson played Miami yesterday. Now, this is not the Miami Hurricanes that everyone thought and projected to be, oh my gosh, they're just going to be so great with Tyler Van Dyke and all this talent around him and things of that nature. He didn't even play in the game.
Nope.
They scored 10 points in that game against Clemson. Now, Clemson has more of a good defense than a good offense. Offense is nothing to sneeze at. They did put up 5 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, but they also had, some turnovers there that DJ Uiagalelei he's similar to Anthony Richardson. The arm talent is there. I believe he came out of California to play at Clemson, and the arm talent is there. It's just a matter of the decision making. Accuracy can be there, but it's just the decision making. They did not put an offensive showing rushing the football. They did not, and they don't have a true number one wide receiver.
There's facts, man.
They may have a receiver in that role, but there's not someone that stands out like, oh, this is the go-to guy like Tennessee has with Jalen Hyatt. And hats off to Tennessee, just backtrack a little bit. They played an awesome game. They definitely played, their hearts out. Hopefully Hendon Hooker is okay. It's nothing serious. Hopefully not, as he was injured in that game there. So, shout out to Tennessee. They were number 5 for a reason. So, but the Gamecocks just played their hearts out. All right, back to you, Clemson. So, they don't have a true number one wide receiver.
Nope.
The defense, of course, they keep the offense in the game. Give them a short field. They held Miami to under 100 yards in the game.
Good Lord.
You cannot win a game like that, especially against a defense like Clemson. Now, whether you can debate all day which conference is tougher, the SEC or ACC.
Uh-huh.
We both know the answer to that question, and it has an S in it.
Ooh.
You can argue over who Clemson plays versus who South Carolina plays.
Uh-huh.
You can argue about the gap in talent between the two programs and where Dabo Swinney, the head coach of Clemson, has taken Clemson over the past decade versus where South Carolina is right now. And we can no longer sit on our laurels of the Steve Spurrier years. We can no longer do that. We can no longer say, "Oh my gosh, we remember those times we went 33 and 6 and we were ranked in the top 10 of the country these straight years and da 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 da." Yeah, I remember that. Good old times. That was over a decade ago.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a new era. This is Beamer ball, so to speak. And South Carolina showed what they are capable of when they are functioning, when they're running on all cylinders. Special teams really didn't stand out too much. There wasn't too much to, there wasn't any blocked punts or blocked kicks or long run, returns or in the return game or anything like that. The defense, they played overall smart football. I mean, Nick Emenwari did have that targeting. And it's just one of those things that was unfortunate. However, he will not be lost for the Clemson game. He's a true freshman. He's going to learn, hey, got to stay away from those. But Peyton Williams stepped up in his stead. And Peyton Williams came out of Texas, 3-star guy, played. They didn't lose a step. Next man up mentality. According to senior corner Cam Smith. And sometimes I think that Cam Smith, he gets a bad rap because he plays physical. He's J.C. Horn 2.0.
Ooh.
He's J.C. Horn 2.0 as far as he's going to talk his talk, but he's going to back it up with his play and everything such as that. So I believe he did give up a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? But hey, every corner has one of those. But overall, the defense played very well. Pretty much kept, they had a few sacks, a couple of pass breakups, got some 3 and outs on a very good Tennessee team. That's the only thing about that up tempo is that you have to make sure that you're executing each and every time when you're going into a hurry up offense. So you get a team like that, making a couple of mistakes, you have to take advantage of them. And South Carolina did. South Carolina, outside of, I think they maybe punted once or twice, if that. Correct me if I'm wrong. They scored on just about every possession that they had. I believe towards the latter part of the game and everything like that, things kind of slowed down. The third quarter really was slowed down because each team just gave up, a touchdown apiece. But then South Carolina again blew it open with another 21-point effort in the fourth quarter. I mean, by halftime, it was 35-24. Tennessee cut it to within 4, and then South Carolina never looked back. They scored 28 points and then gave up that late touchdown in the fourth quarter. So, Clemson. We're not going to overlook Clemson. Clemson is who Clemson is. They're going to be playing for the ACC title against North Carolina the week after this game here. So, you know what? I think that they will likely beat North Carolina and be the ACC champion. Whether or not they make it to the college football playoff remains to be seen. They'll probably have to go over LSU and TCU. Not TCU. TCU is likely going to be in there. They're going to have to probably jump over LSU. Tennessee's not. They're saying it's no longer in there. So here we are. Your Gamecock game prediction for the 2022 South Carolina Gamecocks against the Clemson Tigers. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson a long time ago. Go with my head, not my heart. This time I'm going to go with both.
Really?
I'm going to go with both.
Really?
I think this week here, South Carolina puts together a game plan to attack DJ Ukulele, to try to keep Will Shipley in check. He's their primary running back. And I do believe that our corners can keep the Clemson receivers in check. No receiver had over 100 yards. They spread the ball out because they know they don't have a true number one. So they spread the ball out. This is the end, Clemson. South Carolina defeats the Clemson Tigers. South Carolina defeats the Clemson Tigers. 42-38. Don't look at me like that. You heard what I said. 42-38. We did not put all our eggs in one basket and said, okay, this is it. Spencer Rattler threw for over 400 yards. When was the last time we had a quarterback throw for over 400 yards? I don't even know if Connor Shaw has ever thrown for over 400 yards. I want to say Dylan Thompson has, but I don't know if Connor Shaw has ever thrown over 400 yards. Someone check on that for me. Let me know down in the comments. But this has been your Gamecock Game Prediction. I'm your boy, Cypher Da MC, the Muhammad Ali of MCs. Gamecock Nation, stand up. Cypher Nation, stand up. You know what it is. Drop a mic on that like button for your boy. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You know I'm going to come with the ruckus. And as always, before you love anyone else, you must first love yourself. And I am out this thing. Cypher.
I will not lose.
Enter the cypher with your light.